start. Move over, kids. Hi, how are you today? This is the Saturday Podcast. We don't officially have a name yet. I guess Saturday Podcast will work for now. I did the dumb thing, and I had a really cool name. Power Up Podcast. Doesn't that sound like that would be a brilliant name? Well, go check them out because I forgot to Google them. So we're not going to use that name. But today we are joined by David Castillo, Devin, Damaro, I think. I don't even know. I didn't know his name for 5 years. And then new to the show today is William Olds, I believe his name is. I'll tell you what,
hello.
Someone says hi to me on Facebook, and I'm like, you want to be on the podcast? But William and I, actually, we kind of go back. We've been, in the same Amiibo page for a while, and good guy. A lot of people get mad at him because he's not a jerk, and sometimes
I know
you'd be
the
surprised.
rules.
Yeah, he actually, you know how you enter a Facebook page, and they're like, did you read the rules? And everyone says yes. Well, William actually does read the rules. So
I just kind of remind some people sometimes, and they're usually like, "You're not a moderator. Leave me alone." I'm like,
right.
Okay, then the moderator will do something.
Yep. And we're going to give him a minute to introduce himself. I'm going to actually, though, also real quick, post on our Amiibo page that we are live and in charge. So give me 1 second. I'm going to do a dual internet thing real quick. Riley, hello. How was your day? My day is good. I'm assuming everyone else, we've talked for a couple minutes. They seem like they're having a good day. Give me 1 second, Riley, while I talk to my Amiibo page. Just trying to beef up the views. We're going to go live on the Amiibo page, and I'll let everybody talk in 3, 2, 1. Hello, Amiibo page. This is Ken. I am live right now with a couple awesome people on YouTube. This is the giveaway. The giveaway is going to be next week announced. So if you want to come and join us, we are going to be live for the next 2 hours. And I am posting the link right now. Go to it live, literally right now on YouTube. The actual, the podcast. And you'll see a bunch of people just talking stuff. All right, have a great day, everyone. And I will end it there. All right, so let's get into it. William, why don't we have you introduce yourself real quick to everybody?
All right, so William Olds, from New England. Been gaming since pretty much '82 or so. So big fan of the older systems, the Intellivision. Love my NES. Got a big collection of almost 1,600 games now. Right now, my biggest collection, I think, right now is my PS3, almost 300 games for it.
Oh, PS3 has the biggest collection. That's
kind
weird.
of strange that happened. It's like all of a sudden I looked and I'm like, whoa, I'm over 200 on the games, and I'm almost reached 300.
All right. David, where were you last week? What's up? Everything okay?
Everything's great, man. I actually had to go to a wedding last week.
Nice.
Oh, congratulations! I didn't know you were getting married.
No, not yet, man. Thank you, but yeah, I had to. We drove down to Laredo, Texas, which if many of you don't know, it's a border town. It's in Texas, but it's probably where I was partying was probably maybe quarter of a mile from the border, so I could see the border and the river.
Oh yeah, did you get a chance to go to garage sale hunting? I bet that's a good area for.
No, it's funny. There were some garage sales, but actually, I do my usual runs at Walmarts and Targets, and I expected there to be some stuff at the Walmart that was there because I was like, because last year when I went to also another Walmart in Laredo, and I found Kirby sealed for the Wii U for $10. So I was like, you know what, I might have some good luck this time, and honestly, it's probably just the same as how it is here in Dallas. So,
gotcha. Riley, the giveaway. So to beef up some of the subscribers and whatnot, sometimes I'll do a giveaway on some random Facebook group. I believe right now it's the Amiibo page. I'm running I'll give it away a certain Amiibo if we hit 25, 50, or 100 subscribers. Just a way. I have so much I tend to buy so much stuff, or I did at least before I started really focusing in on Zelda. So I have a couple extras here and there, and I figure, people, Coke pays for advertising, so I'm kind of paying for advertising for my channel that way. So I guess let's just get into it. I am a little curious about this 300 PS3 games. How many PS3 games are there?
I honestly don't know. I'd have to actually look that up.
Are you going for a complete collection?
No, it's just games I was interested in, and it built up quickly. The only systems I'm trying to actually get a complete collection for, because I know it's doable, is the Virtual Boy and the Neo Geo Pocket Color.
Neo Geo Pocket Color. That's an expensive one to do, though, isn't it?
Maybe like one game might be a lot of money. It's not like with I'm like a 3/4 of the way through to get a complete Intellivision collection. One of the games on that is going to cost me for a complete inbox copy is $1,000.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and
What's
it's a
that game?
volleyball game of all games.
Of course.
That's the worst. When I have to, like, if I was still in the Wii U game and I had to pay $1,000 for David's Lego Jurassic Park, I would be upset. However, when I had to pay I think I paid like $500 for a Hyrule Warriors New York edition, I wasn't as mad because it was still Zelda. You know what I mean? It was still like my main collection.
Yeah, the one I'm missing for Virtual Boy is Jack Brothers. And I'm thinking, no, maybe a complete inbox Breath of the Wild Master Edition for trade would be a fair enough trade.
Gotcha. Hey, all the way from France, we have Maxence. You know what, Max? Can I just call you Max? I'm sorry. That's an American thing. We don't know how to pronounce your name, so we just we limit it to how I can pronounce it. So, thank you for the Statue of Liberty, and thank you for joining us. Devin, talk to us. Say something.
Sorry, still there? Okay. Just been playing a lot of Switch lately. I've been trying to... I was going to get that Enter the Gungeon game today. Has anybody else played that?
I haven't played it.
Can't say it. No, I don't even know what that is. Is that a new release?
It's been out for a while. It's one of those roguelite shooters. I haven't really played it yet, but I've heard a lot of good things. And I was either thinking about getting that or the Sleep Tight game that Ken did a review of a little while ago.
Yeah, I did a review of it. I actually was watching Beat 'em Ups, and he was giving like a rave review for it, really good review. But he was doing a 10 eShop games to buy now, and I tend to think that when you do those kind of I'm just gonna try to get 10 games in a review, you don't really get to focus too hard. I mean, he devoted a minute to it, where I was able to devote 10 minutes to it, and I mean, my problems with the game was just that there was no... Riley, which game did you play? Enter the Gungeon or Sleep Tight? And Max is more simple. Thanks for understanding. But the Sleep Tight, there was no story mode. I felt there could have been some stupid little story, kind of like, the Plants vs. Zombies, some dumb story that just kind of, every 5 levels you progress, or 10 levels, there's some kind of still frames and just, text. But that wasn't the deal breaker. The deal breaker was, real no saves, because I didn't want to spend half an hour just getting to the same exact point in the game and dying.
That can always be a big pain in the butt.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Nintendo used to do that with, Ghouls and Goblins back on the original NES, but hey, man, I'm telling you what, when the NES Mini came out, they gave you that save wherever you stop, and, it's been 30 years. Video games evolved a little.
I think, but the Sleep Tight game seems more on the basis of one of those horde-based games where it's not really supposed to have a story. It's just progress to a certain point and see how far you can get. I mean, even Beat 'em Up said that he can only get to, day 25, I think it was.
Yeah, and that's definitely a point. And if that's how you view it, then it's definitely my criticisms are out the window.
Yeah, that one I hadn't heard of, but Enter the Gungeon I had heard of. I've seen a video of it. I love roguelikes, but I just looked at it yeah, people are saying it's a little too difficult. I'm like, No, I like the mystery dungeon style ones, so I'll kind of stick with those ones.
That's why the whole specific reason why I downloaded the game called Immortal Redneck on the Switch.
I think I've heard of that one. Yeah,
it's so funny. It's definitely not something you should be playing around kids. It's got some pretty harsh dialogue, but it's a really funny game, and it's for some reason this the redneck, a pretty much unnamed character, dies in Egypt, becomes a mummy, and keeps coming back to resurrect himself, I guess. It's the weirdest thing, but
Sounds
it's a
like
fun
that kind
game.
of game.
Wait. He's a redneck, but he originated. He didn't go back in time. He originated.
No. At the beginning, I haven't played it in a while, but the cutscene in the beginning, he's like using a dune buggy out in the middle of Egypt, and I guess gets killed. And then the mummies or something, the Egyptians find him, mummify him, and then he keeps coming back to, I guess, get himself out. It's another one of those games that doesn't seem like it has a very distinct storyline, but it's fun. It's just a run and gun roguelite shooter that everything changes every time, so you just try to get to the top of the pyramid.
All right, I have a question for you guys. That term roguelike gets thrown out there a lot. It kind of like, you kind of know what it is based on how it's used in a sentence, in the context. However, I honestly didn't really know what it was, like what people exactly meant by it. And it's funny because I actually played the actual Rogue game when it was first released. I didn't know people were referring to that game to say what it's like. So I want one of you guys. You guys go down the list. I'll ask David first. Do you know what rogue-like actually means, David?
I've actually only recently heard of that term, and I think it was when I was looking at reviews for Dead Cells, that name kept popping up. But to be honest, I really don't know what it alludes to.
Hey, if you want to save time on Dead Cells, read the IGNs, and that way you can read two of the same review at the same time. We'll talk about that later. Okay, so Devin, why don't you tell me, give me in your words what rogue-like means.
Well, like David said, to be honest, I don't really think I had a grasp on what it actually meant. I just see it being referenced to with these type of games.
See? People, they understand what it means in context. Okay, William, can you hit me up with the definition of roguelike?
Yeah, it's because of the game Rogue, where you have randomly generated dungeons, usually a top-down setting, where you go around, you find items that aren't identified. They only really identify once you use them. All the enemies are randomly generated, and it's just trying to get through the dungeons and going down different levels to get through the game.
Okay, so have you guys ever played the game Rogue? Seriously, the actual thing.
I have, yeah.
Okay, so
I have no.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay,
I'm hearing about it.
all right. Well, move over, kids, because I'm about to tell you. That's actually what my original name was for. Move over. Dad wants to play. I'm an old guy, but it's just eventually became my my handle or whatever. But so William, we're probably. How old are you, William?
I am 39.
Okay, so he's got 1 year on me. We're the same. So, when there were floppy disks that had a whole, maybe 512 megabytes for your video game.
3.5s are the ones that actually floppied.
The floppy. People think it's the 3.
I used to have them, especially playing Doom.
And you want to know something? Okay, so my wife is actually 11 years younger than me. The save button on your computer, when you hit the save, that button, that is actually the 3x5 floppy disk. She didn't know she was like, that's what it is? And I was like, yeah. Anyway, I was like, and then, sometimes the age gap comes in. But Rogue, all your character wasn't it just like you just had like a letter for your character, and you would press the up, down arrow, and it would be a black screen in a box. You didn't know where you were going, and eventually you would run into another letter. And that letter is, you would have
to... I can't remember the name of it, but there's a game on the PS4 that actually, your character's made out of those ASCII symbols, and it's
a
roguelike game where stuff's all ASCII, and I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, and so it was just like, I'll tell you what, though, I spent so many hours playing that game, and you ran into a certain letter, you would be like, oh no, because it would be so hard. And I can't remember if this was one of the games where you had to actually type what you wanted to do, like, you know, hit with sword, put spell, but you'd have to actually use words. I know you had to do that with the original King's Quest games, but I can't remember if it was roguelike. Riley, I thought roguelike meant that everything is randomized every time you start the game.
That's kind of what I thought too.
Yeah, that's also a thing. But you can also have a pre-made character as well.
Yeah, and it comes like that's what Rogue was like. Everything was randomized. You never knew. You could never play the same game twice because it was all randomized. You never knew what creature you were going to run into.
And I just found the name of that game. It's called Brutal, but the A is the at symbol.
Oh, I want to see that. So yeah,
I think I've heard of that actually.
Yeah.
We'll have to find an emulator or a ROM if Nintendo hasn't destroyed it all of Rogue. So I was talking about the IGN thing. David, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
So I guess it's a guy by the name of Philip Mewson. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but
hang on a second, Max. Hey man, I know you're in a different time zone altogether, and so thanks for just popping in. We appreciate just like 5 minutes of your time. Thank you for spending just a little of your day with us. So continue, David.
So he allegedly plagiarized a review for the game Dead Cells, and it's getting it's pretty much the talk of the game community at the moment. There's a lot of heat coming his way, and for good reason. Plagiarism is bad. Don't take other people's work, don't steal their work, and use it for your own doing.
Yeah, I would say before I let the others open up, it's still in the allegedly because there's like really no way to prove it at this point, but in the court of public opinion, this guy has been found guilty. IGN, actually, I know they're one of the evil empires of the gaming community, but I feel that they've handled this top notch. Lots of respect for IGN and how they've handled it. Originally, they took down his review immediately. Then they took a couple days. They didn't say, oh my gosh, he's evil. Took a couple days. Then they said, you know what? We're just going to keep it off. We believe that there was something. They fired him, and you know they kept their website open for questions, and that's that. But apparently, there's more to the story because now everybody is combing through their stuff and being like, oh wow, he stole from me. He stole from me. Anybody else have a take on it? Devon or Devin?
I saw people on Twitter were mentioning they were sending tweets to IGN with specific reviews to look at and then citing the other reviews that they were plagiarized from. And I wish I had that list at the moment so I could see which ones actually were the ones that he did it to. And I think there's a strong enough case that it's no longer an alleged.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was watching this other video. I forget the guy's YouTube name. I think Yon D or something like that. Whatever. Besides the point, I was watching his video, and he had Philip Mewson put up an apology video about this, basically saying, "I'm sorry," but dancing around the fact that he actually did the plagiarism in the first place, and that he called out a editor from a Kotaku, I think it was, or one of the either that or Nintendo Life. And he was like, no, you've actually plagiarized me as well. And now there's a bunch of people digging through his past works, and he's done it more than once. So
yeah, he challenged the internet. You never call the internet out on a bluff.
Yeah. And he put up that apology video, and less than a couple hours later, he took it down. He's getting so much more heat again. So he's just digging himself a hole. And at this point, again, yeah, no one deserves to be like beaten down to a pulp over a mistake. But I agree with the guy at the video that I'm referencing. I wish I could remember the name. If you're going to put an apology, own up to it. Don't just dance around it and then expect the internet to say, okay. The only reason that anybody would do that and not want to just destroy your entire human, your being, is because of the way he did it. He was basically playing the victim.
Yeah, you don't. You own. everyone's allowed mistakes. You own them, though. You absolutely own your mistakes. Plagiarism is the kiss of death when it comes to journalism, and honestly, I mean, sometimes you can be forgiven, but you can't always be, your past can't always be forgotten, and journalism should be something he stays out of forever at this point, especially with the apology video. I mean, he could have came on and said, you know, I was high on drugs, and I did it. Sorry, I won't do drugs anymore. You know, that would have been better than, well, you know, I mean, everybody kind of looks at their own stuff and other people's stuff. I mean, I look at other people's stuff, but I reference it or something if I can.
Yeah, it's something simple as quotations and saying, hey, this guy said it first, and that he would have not gotten any issues, but no.
He could probably get a job as a proofreader now.
Yeah. Ha burn.
It's like, yeah, type this stuff out, but we already know it's going to be somebody else's words.
I reached out to him. I said, "Hey, man, no judgment here." I was like, "You want to come on the show?" I knew he didn't say it. Cool. Surprise, he didn't say anything to me. But I mean, I don't blame him. I'm a nobody. But man, wouldn't that have been cool? Hey, man, though, if you're out there, you can plagiarize me if you want. So what else we got going on today? Diablo 3. Who wants to speak up on Diablo 3 coming out?
Extremely hyped for that, actually. I didn't get a chance to play Diablo 3 a lot, mainly because Diablos in general, actually, because I never had a PC. I only played it on the PS4, but I really like the game, and I'm excited for that Ganon armor.
Yeah, I got the PS4 version. I was one trophy away from the Platinum.
Oh.
That one. The one for gaining all the gold.
That's cool.
It's like 5 million gold you have to get, and I think I was halfway there.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident. Oh.
Sorry. I was saying I definitely think it's going to be a very fun game, especially doing local co-op with people. I actually started a Facebook group about this to get, like, meetups with people that have the Switch, and it did not go well.
In what way, Devin?
Well, I started a Facebook group saying, like, okay, I want to start this group for people that are fans of the Nintendo Switch. And granted, I started it when the thing just came out, and I wanted it to be for people to meet up in, like, coffee shops or something like that and, like, play something like Diablo or Bomberman together and just hang out in company of other Nintendo fans. And unfortunately, it just didn't really work out. It could be just because of the area I'm in, but who knows?
Did anybody show up? Did anyone show up, or was it just like...
I had a few people in the group that joined. It's just the thing is, like, I had like 5 people. I wasn't gonna... It wasn't enough to actually do anything.
It might be something worth trying again, because remember, there was a lot of naysayers in the beginning of the Switch.
Valid point.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've never gotten into the Diablo franchise in any iteration, but this really kind of perked my interest. Like, I'm really excited to. Actually, it would be my first Blizzard game, to be honest. Well, I played a little bit of WoW back in the day, but this would be the first, because my friends were always talking about Diablo. But like Devin, I never had a PC to really delve into that, and yeah, that Ganon armor and the cuckoo, and I think there's even like a ring that you can wear.
Yeah, it's like a Triforce ring of some sort.
Yeah, I couldn't take a good look at that to see what the ring was.
The only reason I had a good look is because of Ken's video. He had that screenshot up.
I should have reviewed that screenshot better then, because I didn't even see it. I'm with you, Riley. I have never played Diablo 1, 2, or 3, so this is very exciting for me, because I had a friend also who was just huge into Diablo. I wasn't sure if it was 1 or 2. It was probably like 20 years ago, though. And you know what? I might be with you also, David, in never playing a Blizzard game. Blizzard has had an embargo, basically, on the Nintendo for 15 years. I think StarCraft 64 was the last Blizzard game. And so... Wow. Actually, no, I played one World of Warcraft before it went MMO. So I've actually played one Blizzard game one time in my life. And I've heard a lot of good things about Diablo. But, you know, it's one of those games that you kind of never thought, you know, as more of a Nintendo fanboy, and a fanboy, I mean, I own it. Diablo is one of those games that like certain crowds usually hate Nintendo, and so I never get to really talk to them about games. And that crowd usually plays games like Call of Duty and Diablo. So I'm definitely glad. Also, without getting into like the crazy aspect of it, I mean, me and Devon, we have opposite views on religion, Devin, sorry. But I do want to say something that I am glad Nintendo of America, I think a lot of people aren't noticing that they have loosened the reins so much. There was a time when there could not be anything religious, even remotely, on a Nintendo product in America, to the point they
didn't even get Devil World.
Yeah, they banned a Miyamoto game, and that was in 2006 when they rebanned it. And I saw this for the first time in Smash Brothers when Simon got to use his holy water, actually,
Right.
and a cross. And
Right.
now Diablo literally means devil in Spanish. So I think that's really cool that Nintendo is just like, this is definitely a direction, a change in their outlook or culture. Anyone got any views on that without getting into I believe this?
Yeah, that was one of the main takeaways from the Smash Direct is I saw Simon Belmont holding his whip and the hilt and the guard is the cross, and I'm like, that imagery is powerful because I remember playing Castlevania on the NES when I was a kid, and I saw holy water, and plus I was playing this like in a little. My babysitter had a daughter that was our age. I'm gonna say our age when I was young, and she lived in an apartment behind my babysitter, and she had all the cool stuff. She had an NES, a SNES, and I also thought it was really cool. She also smoked cigarettes at the time, and I was like, man, that's so cool. Anyway, so
say no to smoking, kids.
She had Castlevania, and I remember playing it, and I was like, this is in a video game, Holy Water, and you would see the cross, and you saw all these beasts, and whenever that came to Smash, I'm like, someone literally was designing the cross off of Simon's whip, and for a moment they probably thought, this is really under the Nintendo umbrella now, and it's everybody's all eyes on Nintendo at this moment. But yeah, jumping on that Blizzard thing again, I'm excited for the future of the Blizzard Nintendo partnership too.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I know it probably would be too late to get Overwatch on the Switch, but maybe if there's like a Overwatch 2, maybe that kind of like Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal is launching the same day on the Switch as it is on the other platforms. That's huge. That to me, that's pretty big.
Yeah, and Riley brought up Binding of Isaac being on the Switch, so that's
another one.
Yeah, another one that's gonna go into a little bit of religious stuff.
Yeah, and David, you said something about Overwatch. It might not be too late. I mean, what is Diablo 3? How old is that? Why wouldn't we get Overwatch? I mean,
Diablo 3 is way older than Overwatch at this point. I actually heard there was a rumor that Overwatch was coming.
Yeah, the rumor actually, if we're hearing the same rumor, is more along the lines of, is Overwatch possible? And Blizzard basically said everything is on the table. So basically everything is possible. But we know that, I mean, if World of Warcraft isn't on the PS4 or Xbox One, it's probably not possible or going to happen. It's possible, but not going to happen. So it was kind of a politician answer, but it also leaves room that it could actually happen. And Overwatch, maybe you're saying Overwatch won't happen or it's too late because the fan base has kind of moved on. But then again, with the Switch, it's almost everything's new again on the Switch. And you can, I mean, Paladins is on the Switch. I don't know how well Paladins is doing, but Paladins is the knockoff, the second place runner of Overwatch. So I played Paladins. I wasn't like, I liked it, but not liked it enough to really invest any time. Anybody ever play Paladins or anyone enjoying it on the Switch?
I downloaded
I
it
haven't
on the
played
Switch a little while ago, and I mean, honestly, I liked it, but I became more of a fan of Fortnite than anything because, like, I got into my first game of Paladins and got 35 kills and did not die. Don't know how I did that.
You should have kept playing. If you're a natural, you keep playing and go pro.
Well, true, I guess. Maybe I should pick it up again. I just thought it was weird because I felt like it was like too easy. But I was because I play Overwatch on the Xbox One, so maybe it was just because of that.
That's probably what it was. But dude, you should still play. I mean, if you're that good, that would you get your channel up and running. You just smoke people on Paladins. It don't matter if you love the game or not. Just get the viewers.
True.
And I'm wondering if they're trying to get people interested in the Diablo franchise so they can announce a Diablo 4.
That is an idea that I was thinking of too.
Yeah, probably may not happen, but it's always a possibility.
I think that Nintendo is going to do this a lot lately, especially with Diablo 3 coming out, which has online play. It's definitely going to. Smash coming out. They're going to pump out more online-based games to offset these people that are just crying about the online service that's coming up.
Right.
Or at least I hope they do, because I'm getting very jaded on hearing all this.
Yeah, because what I keep seeing is everyone always says, oh, well, Sony has this, and Microsoft has that, therefore Nintendo has to have it. You know, when it comes to like having Netflix on the system or any sort of like trophy support or anything like that. Oh, they have it. Nintendo has to have it too. Well, they have their subscription services. Now Nintendo's adding one, and now it's suddenly, well, the PC doesn't have it. So
Right.
why should Nintendo? It's like, stop moving the goalpost.
Yeah.
I mean, Nintendo's never been part of the mold. Like they've never, like, especially back in the day, and I say back in the day, 10 years ago, when Xbox introduced achievements, and then Sony jumped on that, and everybody was like, well, the Wii should have it, and the Wii U should have it. And what's funny is that when Nintendo does their own thing and it is successful or innovative, you see the other people, I mean the other platforms trying to emulate Nintendo's success. I mean, look at motion controls.
Yeah, it's always, if it's popular, it's a feature. If it's not popular, it's called a gimmick.
That's what I found funny.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
The Wii came out, we had the Wii mode. And then look a little while later, and the PS3 came out with the PlayStation Move, and it was utter trash. And then everybody's like, "Oh, Nintendo, how dare they innovate?" But then you see PlayStation, one of the bigger ones apparently, jumping on the bandwagon and trying to do something similar, and it failed horribly. And the only reason why they revived it, kind of, is because of the PSVR.
Yep.
And then people talk about online coming out after the 2000s. It's like, well, they kind of had that with the Intellivision years ago, and then after that, Sega had their Sega Channel.
Yeah.
Sega Channel. What was that like? I was not part of the Sega bandwagon.
It was kind of like the Intellivision had their Play cable. It hooked up to your system, and it used the phone line. You downloaded the games from that.
Yeah, my first thing that I saw about that is the Dreamcast had an internet browser that you could actually hook up to, but no one knew about it. It's the same thing with like those mysterious ports that we had on the bottom of the Nintendo 64. Here, no one knew about it, and the fact, like, okay, what the heck is this supposed to even do?
There's the port on the NES as well.
Yeah, and that was supposed to have like online play and discs and stuff, and it never came here. I mean,
and we got the Super Famicom. Was that the Satellaview stuff?
Yeah. And even the Super Nintendo has a random mysterious port on it. No, I don't think I've ever known what the heck that does.
Yeah, I think Japan there's a Japan only 64 double disc game. I think it's Backgammon, and it has an Ethernet port on the cartridge itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
I didn't know any of this stuff, so like that's cool. I mean, I might have heard of some of this stuff, but like most of it, I don't think I've really known.
Like we were supposed to get Nintendo 64 DLC and stuff like that, and it never happened because the disc system never took off here.
Yeah,
it was only in Japan, and then it pretty much failed. It's kind of like the Virtual Boy. The Virtual Boy only has like 20 games, if that.
14.
Okay, but yeah. So I mean, the Virtual Boy. I'm saying this from the basis. I only just for the very first time. Tried one yesterday. I thought it was interesting, but I guess it's to each their own.
As you know, 14 in the U.S. and Japan, they got a bunch of other ones that we didn't get.
True. But, I mean, I guess it was kind of like on the basis of that. It's probably like this. I was one of the people when the 3DS first came out. My eyes had a little bit of trouble focusing on the 3D, and then some people didn't. I guess it's kind of the same thing with that.
Hey, hang on one second.
Has that thing about the Virtual Boy and the way it is.
Just so people know, the Virtual Boy was something. It came out after the Super Nintendo, before the N64. Was kind of a home console, kind of not, but not like the Switch. It was big red visors on a stand. You put your face into it, and
if mine wasn't in storage, I'd go get it out.
And it was basically everything you saw was red. Only 14 games in America, like William said. I think the rarest one is Jack Brothers.
Yeah, which is the one I still need to get.
Yeah, I can bet that one's going to cost you about $1,000 or so. It's
about 200, 250.
Oh wow,
yeah,
a lot cheaper than I thought. Wario, there was a Wario game, but never a core Mario game or never a core Zelda game. The only home console that doesn't have a Zelda game on it, Mario Tennis is. Tell me, Devin, that's Virtual Boy. If you have any questions about it, ask. I bet William knows more about it than I do. But Devin, where did you actually get to play it?
I went to, there's this town in my state, New Jersey, where it's called Somerville. I went to this place called Yestercades, which is it's an arcade where you go in and pay by the hour. It's the one I told you about yesterday. And there's a little vintage video game store that was down the road like from it. So I walked in there, and I was out of curiosity. I was like, can I try that thing? He got it off the shelf, and I played it there. I played the Wario game.
He straight up so he didn't like it wasn't part of the actual like arcade. It was like more of a design, but he just let you do it.
No, I mean the arcade and the store that I'm talking about are two separate things. This was just a little vintage video game store that you can go and pick up Super Nintendo cards and stuff like that. He had it for sale, so I asked, "Would you mind if I tried it out?" Because I've always been interested in buying one. He's like, "Sure." He got it off the shelf, and I played Wario. It was definitely an interesting thing. I guess I can see why people complained about it, and I also don't at the same time. Because, I mean, to me, it just looked like it was like a Game Boy that you had strapped to your face. It was the exact same graphics, just red.
What I really wish they had done on the 3DS was revived some of these games that were only on the 3DS, only on the Virtual Boy, and also included a 3DS version of the original Virtual Boy version.
That would be
to Star Fox 2 on the SNES Mini.
Yeah, well, there'd be like a brand new version of Teleroboxer, and then as an unlockable, you could get the original black and red version to play on the 3DS, and the 3DS already has that 3D in it, so you'd be able to see that a little bit better than the way it is on the Virtual Boy. In case like a lot of people had problems with the way the colors were, they said it caused eye strain and stuff. I never had a problem with it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I guess it's kind of up for interpretation. Like, I had a problem with the 3DS, and that's why I can't really use the 3D, but some people don't, so.
So what game are you guys playing right now? How about you, David? What are you playing right now?
I actually, on the way back from Laredo, I was playing a lot of Pokemon Quest. I know.
Quest?
Yeah, Quest, the free game that's on mobile and Switch. It's been kind of overlooked just from the people that I've seen talking about it, but it's actually a really fun game. Just it's kind of like you jump in and you jump out kind of game, but I was playing it for like 6 hours straight. So
tell me more about it. Tell me why should I play? Because I popped in, I did play, and I was not very interested in it. Can you sell it to me?
To be honest, I really don't know how to describe it, but it's a top-down kind of isometric view, real-time strategy-ish. For Pokemon, you have 3 Pokemon in your party at a time, and you go out on these things called expeditions, and pretty much you just fight other waves of Pokemon. And an expedition can have up to like 3 to 4 to 5 waves. The 5th wave being Pokemon, and then like a boss Pokemon. And you pretty much, it's kind of loot based. You pretty much, when you beat these waves, you get You power up on your health and you power up on your attack. And you also get food items that you can go back to base and create these recipes that then attract more Pokemon, some rare, some not. And then it's just kind of that cycle. You kind of keep doing it, and after you get in this rhythm, you kind of fly through about half of the game. So it's really addicting. It's just one of those poke and prod kind of games. You just kind of poke at the screen, and you just it's just immediate satisfaction.
There's only one problem I have with the game, and that's the art style. They already had a set art style with the Pokemon Rumble games, and I kind of wish they used the same art style as Rumble.
Yeah,
True.
Yeah, I'm in the minority. I like the cube art, the cubism.
Oh
type.
yeah, don't get me wrong. I think it's cool, but they already had an established kind of cube-looking look for. I mean, I have the little Pokemon Rumble characters, and I like these ones. But if they had just stayed with that design.
And it's funny, when I first found out about Pokemon Quest and the trailer, I thought it was like a sequel or even like an expansion to the game you're referring to, William.
Mhm.
But upon further review, it's clearly a different art style, and it's kind of it's whatever. I think I applaud it for its consistency because everything is cube, and that's what I like about it. But I think I'm also in the minority as far as the art style goes for Pokemon. Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
Yeah, and it should be noted too that the little figurines are getting a little hard to find now.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
They are. Those are pre-amiibo. What did you say?
Yeah,
You were the minority and liking the art style on Let's Go Pikachu Eevee. What do you mean by that, David?
Well, there's a lot of. I guess it's probably because of a lot of people in the gaming community are hankering for the newest core Pokemon. You know, they're looking for more of a.
They'll get it.
Right, and that's kind of what I'm trying to stress too, is that Pokemon Company has already said that it's coming in 2019, and because they've said that, it makes it easier to swallow the fact that Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee looks like the way it is. I'm a big fan of it. It's showing Pokemon to scale. I was talking to Devin 2 podcasts ago, and Ken, I think you walked out, but I was saying how I was excited how there's a like 2
I vaguely remember.
And a 2-scale Onix that you can ride on top of, and that's so cool. That's what I imagined as a kid. It's like these Pokemon 2-scale.
They're gonna have problems if they get to a actual size Whale Lord.
That's true.
Bring it on!
Yeah, I think more or less people are just getting upset because the first game that's on the Switch when it comes to Pokemon is not the core title, and then that's why people are getting upset about it, I think.
Yeah, they forget, you know, they're the same people that say Nintendo hates money. Why doesn't Nintendo give us the Virtual Console? They hate money. And then they say, oh, well, the Pokemon game should be core and this. Well, in reality, they're catering towards the money right now, kind of, sort of, in the way that Pokemon Go is such a giant success. They get to try to bridge a gap now between pulling in all those people from the mobile device to the console, and it can kind of flow, and everybody, it looks like if people weren't so jaded and bitter, they might have a chance at making everybody happy, you know, by the gameplay. But
my thing is that there's two ways to look at it.
They're
a Japanese company, and they're gonna go with what they want to do over in Japan. They don't care about what the Westerners want, and plus, fans typically don't know what they want. Like you may think you know what you want, but then another person that says they're just as much of a fan as you are wants something completely different, and they think what they want is what should be and not what you're saying. So, yeah, if they listened to everybody, Smash Brothers would have Goku and Superman and Cory in the house and Shrek.
Hey, I'm still hoping for the Cory Direct. So.
Yeah, it's a developer mind versus the fan mind. You know, Yeah, and you have cases where the developer is very fan service, like with like Tekken. Tekken, like I think, has a lot of fan service, especially in Tekken 7, and a lot of their I guess there is part of their fan base that is saying they're catering too much to the fans. They should just go with what they originally intended to, and it's like no one's ever really happy, right? I mean, Nintendo has arguably given us the best Zelda and Mario in recent memory,
Arguably ever.
right? And people are still saying, well, the Switch is lacking, and they're I'm excited to see, they're saying, well, this Zelda was good, but I think the next one will be better because we need more enemy variety and whatever. These are things that I've just kind of offshoots that I've heard, but it's kind of upsetting because it's like Nintendo's turning around, from the failure of the Wii U, and we should appreciate what they're giving us, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, if
totally
they gave me
too.
what I really wanted, I'd love a Warriors game that's basically Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers characters in a Warriors setting.
That would be very
think
interesting.
That'd be very cool.
I want a bag of cookies with every Switch game, and they have yet to give me that.
But then if it's the wrong type of cookies,
And it better be gluten free, and I have a peanut allergy.
you wanted Oreos and they gave you Hydrox.
Okay. Oh, well done.
All right,
But
let's talk more. Have we a Pikachu pop came out, and I see some pops and a bunch of other people's things. Is any other news? Are we gonna get Charizard? Are we gonna get whoever?
Haven't heard anything yet, and still can't even find the Pikachu.
Uh-oh.
I actually have the Pikachu. William, if you want to find that, you got to get on it now because I heard that Target discontinued it.
Oh,
I work at Target. I can't get it.
Oh, double O.
Sadly,
Well,
I actually had a second one the other day, and I sold it off to somebody else here. Granted, it was retail. I'm not
That's
doing
fine.
that stuff. Okay, but anyway, I heard that there was supposed to be because Target's getting all these 10-inch pops, that there was supposed to be a 10-inch version of Pikachu.
Hey,
I heard that too.
Devin, just for the record, if you come across another Pikachu pop and you're going to sell for retail, I'll buy it.
Okay. I'm always on the look for collector stuff. I always try to help my friends out, so yeah.
I've been able to find some of the other stuff that was Target exclusives, but I got the Thanos, both versions of the one of the characters from Jurassic Park. They actually did a reprint of him. They changed the wording on the packaging for him. The Jeff Goldblum.
Dr.
okay.
Malcolm.
Yeah, they spelled his name wrong on the
Oh.
original batch.
Are you
Nice.
talking about the one where he's got like the leg wound and he's laying down?
Yes, the sexy pose one.
Yeah, I love that one.
His name spelled wrong on the box on the
Hey.
original run.
Hey, let's get something.
Text.
Let's get something straight. Every Jeff Goldblum is a sexy one. Okay.
Fair enough. But they released it into the stores and it was red text and it was corrected.
Oh, I never
So I've
noticed
got
that.
both of those now.
Okay. But I did see on Funko's Twitter a little while ago. I'm hoping that it was real. I'm not. I'm sure it was real, obviously, but I hope that they actually go on with this. But they were saying, if we were to make more Pokemon pops, what would you guys want? And they started
Everyone.
well, everybody was jumping on the bandwagon, and me personally, I would love to see Nurse Joy, the police officer. I forget her name. Anybody? Jenny. Probably Nurse Joy's Chansey, Rock, the Team Rocket, a bunch of them like that.
I think
what's your
they
guys'
would do
opinion?
2 packs. They would do Brock with like a Geodude or something,
True.
Misty with a Magikarp, and Nurse with the Chansey.
But my personal top would probably be Brock, Ash, and Misty as like a 3-pack or something like that. And my favorite Pokemon, I don't know if they'd ever do it, but I would want to see a pop version of Darkrai.
I know they would never do mine. Lickitung, Ludicolo.
Hey.
would actually be a really sweet pop figure.
Yeah, but I have a feeling that they wouldn't do him. And
I think they're-
Piccolo, I think he'd be awesome just the way he looks, but it's kind of way too obscure.
They're gonna do them all. I mean, it's just if they get the chance, they'll do every single one of them, and then they'll give every single one a shiny. Then they'll do a version that ditto is every single one of them. And
Oh my dude, don't even. That would actually be like a rare chase then.
and then let's give them all hats.
Comic-Con exclusive, missing no.
Then
Yeah.
they'll do the gold and silver beta Pokemon.
Yep.
That would-
Yeah.
Ooh.
That would be funny.
Oh.
Yeah, but pops are getting a little ridiculous, and well, mainly because there's just so many of them.
I only go
And-
after characters I want. I'm not going after complete sets or like a complete collection of them. Just characters I want.
Well, I did that kind of at first. Like, I have a good portion of the Deadpool pops, but I've kind of dwindled it down to like the things that I like the Pikachu. I definitely had to get that. If they ever, which me and Ken were having the nightmare situation, if they ever make Nintendo
No.
money at the screen, I'm gonna do that. I have to.
Different colored versions of Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
we were thinking that it's gonna happen because if they got a hold of Pokemon, that's the next logical step.
Yeah, if Zelda happens, I'm just gonna give them this, and just tell them just mail them to me.
Have you
They'll
guys
do
have any-
every single incarnation of Link.
Oh.
That'd be cool. Ocarina of Time Link.
I want to see Fierce Deity Link.
Yeah.
As a-
Ironically, this is what happened. I'm gonna do a video on this soon, actually. But ironically, so you see, I'm a Zelda fan. I have a couple Zelda things, and
Just a few.
just a few. Zelda in the 80s, Nintendo. It was Nintendo. Nintendo blew up suddenly, and Mario was definitely the mascot, but Zelda was a strong second. And actually, Little Mac there for a second was a strong third. And then, slowly but surely, after Zelda 2, it died out. And then it wasn't again until Ocarina of Time that there was another little burst of Zelda merchandise. And it's almost always the same stuff, though, the Ocarina of Time merchandise. And then there was nothing for the longest time, with sprinkled here and there, but nothing again until Breath of the Wild, except for in Europe. Europe kept the dream alive. In Europe, Zelda is always. I wish Max was here for this, but Europe has all the stuff. If you go, where's the Zelda merchandise? It's in Europe. So, for the longest time, I was able to acquire stuff here and there because there wasn't just this, like, Nintendo wasn't just throwing up merchandise. But now, before I had to get everything, but now, because ironically Nintendo is now releasing just Zelda stuff here, Zelda stuff there. There's so much Zelda stuff that I'm to the point where I finally I was like, I can't keep up with it, so now I feel like I don't have to get everything. Does that make sense? It's like when there's just this much, I feel I have to get everything, but when there's too much, I can stop and say, okay, I'm just going to get what I want. Does that make sense? Are you guys kind of the same way? Can you explain that to me?
Did
Yeah,
you get
definitely.
a box of the Nintendo cereal from the 80s?
I'm trying to. I'm trying to get like all. There's 5. There's like 5 actually. There's a Hollow one.
I'm the same way when it comes to pops, though. Like, in stuff that I get, like, the only thing that I went nuts with is my amiibo collection. I have the entire Smash run, and I think
have that too.
there's only 2 amiibo total that I'm even missing. I'm not counting the Europe and like Japan exclusives.
I got the one. I got the Rob from Japan before they went and they released the Famicom version of it.
I did
And then
that
I got
too.
an extra one so I can repaint him for the Virtual Boy colors.
Oh, nice.
Speaking of amiibo, have you guys had any luck with the Solera Vestor amiibo?
I've had it pre-ordered since they originally said that it was coming out.
I skipped it. I wasn't gonna worry about it.
The GameStop guy.
That's going nuts right now on
Yeah.
eBay.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
I'm
it's
pricing.
because
GameStop
of the
guy,
series.
they were telling me that that it's like you had to pay up front, right, Devin?
Yeah.
You have to pre-order it and then pay up front, and then it's shipped to your house. It's like not even going through a retailer; it's just going from
That's a
warehouse.
weapon store. Yeah, that's why it's a weapon store. They
And
probably don't even want to have them in the store. And plus, because, I mean, the Amiibo displays in most stores have completely disappeared.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it's that when it comes to Dark Souls in general, the game was pushed back so long. I think we only just a couple days ago got the date of October 19th that it's coming out. So I don't know. I think it was just that much of a mystery they didn't even want to bother putting it in the stores.
I think the craziest thing I've pre-ordered from GameStop is over here. I can get it.
I hope I get my hands on it.
My Mega Man cereal.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those. I personally wanted to get the Pennywise one.
Whoa, hang on, bring that back. I haven't seen those.
There we go.
Oh, hey, hang on 1 second. Hang on 1 second. Hey, Riley, I see that you got to go. Thank you for stopping in. We're going to keep going for about another hour. We're on the, what time is it? It's, 1 o'clock at your guys' spot? 11:55. So we got one more hour of the show, but we really appreciate you stopping by, Riley. You always are welcome here, and thank you so much. But let's keep on going. I want to hear more about this this Rockman cereal you got there.
Yeah, I haven't opened it yet. But yeah, it's got the pop in there. Whoops. Yeah, this way.
So this is straight up cereal?
Yeah, there's cereal in there, and it also comes with the little Mega Man mini pop.
And they're only about
freaking genius.
Maybe a couple inches tall. I mean,
yeah.
I was kind of surprised about that too. I think they actually released the idea for this during April Fools, and all the Funko community was like, "No, they're not going to do this."
And then they did it.
Probably because it probably started off as a joke and then just snowballed.
Well,
also, there's a convention in Canada that's going to have an exclusive Mega Man pop. And it's also a shared exclusive with GameStop, and my local GameStop only got 2 of them.
Oh, gross.
And they have them in the back room, and they can't sell them until I think it's next week or the week after. And they already said one of them's going to the side for me.
Oh, nice. So bring that out. When does it? Bring it on. Bring it on the next time you're on the show.
Yeah, it's once I get it. I think it was. Check the date here. I don't remember when the convention was. I think it's the 28th that they're going to be able to sell it.
I thought it was supposed to be a joke, but apparently in that Canadian convention that you're talking about, there's going to be a version of Iron Man with Jeffrey the Giraffe's head.
Yes, I saw
from
that.
Toys R Us. I was like, that's weird looking.
Why?
I got the guys from Strange Brew as vinyl figures.
Yeah.
Why?
Cool, though.
Why the giraffe Iron Man thing is like...
I don't know. I saw a picture of it. It's got the old Iron Man's body. It looks like they literally just had a bunch of these pop figures laying around. They're like, okay, let's just put something together. But I think it's because Toys R Us in Canada, if I'm not mistaken, is still alive. So that's, I think, might be the reason why.
Which is probably where the Brickheads Jeffrey the Giraffe is going to be.
True.
If you're familiar with the Legos, the Lego Brickheads.
Yeah, I've seen them.
I bet because they had the Jeffrey the Giraffe exclusive Toys R Us one, then they went out of business, so they probably just got a butt ton of left over.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because it's like the old body for the Iron Man figure, and then the giraffe, Jeffrey Giraffe popped on top. If you've ever gotten to customizing, which I've done a little bit when it comes to pops, they're really easy to pop apart. You just put them in boiling water and just take the head off. So it's
true
easy.
with other figures as well.
Well, yeah, I've gotten into it when it comes to Marvel Legends as well.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something, Devin. Did you used to like torture your toys as a child? Like, how did you figure that out?
No. This is just me wanting to get into customizations, because I was actually going to make a custom pop of my fiance, but I haven't really figured out how I want to do it yet.
I've seen Toy Story 1, Devin. Confess!
I am not
Are
Sid.
you Sid, Devin?
No, of course not. I like my toys too much. I do not damage them. If anything, I'm more of the guy that was going to, in Toy Story 2, that was trying to repaint Woody.
I'm the Toy Story 3 guy. Or Toy Story 2 guy also, but the one that was like, I'll just put him in the museum.
Yeah. Oh, man. But that's the specific reason why I keep stuff like this still. I was surprised to find this. It's a first print Villager that I got for $15 at a toy convention.
I still got
All
a
right.
few still in box over there somewhere.
Who's your main gonna be? Main and pocket for Smash Brothers. Who you gonna pick?
I like Bowser Jr.
Bowser Jr.
Yeah.
Nice. And who's gonna be your second?
Not sure.
All right, you got until David's done talking to figure out one. So think of it.
Yeah.
Devin, who's your two?
Well, if I'm going to start with, I want to start with two new characters. Well, when I say new, I meant like new as in Smash Ultimate. I'm definitely going to start with Simon Belmont first, and my backup is going to be Ridley.
Okay. David.
I'm just glad that we're talking about Smash because I missed out last week and there was a lot of Smash. You know, it was just Smash was high on everybody.
Oh yeah, let's just hey, we'll talk the next hour. Let's go.
And Smash is my favorite franchise of all time, so it's just I'm excited to be talking about it. But my main is always Kirby. I love playing as Kirby. And then I really want to try King K. Rool. Looks like a lot of fun to play as.
Yeah,
Because he's got that deflect. It probably is going to be like a down B. His belly.
He wasn't one of my first picks, but I like where they're going with him.
I'm just excited that Sakurai is finally putting Western characters. Well, I say Western, but outside of Japan characters. Like Dark Samus didn't originate in Japan.
yeah.
And
Well, then Mike Jones would be in there from Star Tropics.
that's what. Yeah. And
One step at a time. One step at a time. Justice for Waluigi.
And you got a British company, Rare, right? With King K. Rool, and hopefully that just means that Banjo-Kazooie is one step closer.
Let me just say this: the video for King K. Rool was probably the funniest
It was
trailer
so
I've
good.
seen in a while.
It was so good, man. And
It
with
was
Sakurai,
so well
literally-
played.
he was
They'll-
literally
they'll-
trolling us with his laugh.
They'll do a video where it looks like they're going to announce Banjo-Kazooie and it's ukulele.
Oh,
Oh, and that's when the internet explodes.
man. But my favorite part of that video is specifically when King K. Rool smacks DDD out of the way,
Oh,
and
dude.
then Diddy Kong and Donkey Kong's eyes shoot through the glass. That was I was rolling at that.
It looked pretty bad, but I know why they did that because of the original Donkey Kong Country game where their eyes bugged out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought that was the funniest thing ever.
That'll be inappropriate memes forever now. But
There's that money shot at the end where King K. Rool, Diddy, and Donkey Kong are like slow motion punching each other. That's a really cool shot too.
Yeah.
He's definitely going to be a very cool character. But normally in Smash 4, my characters would have been Little Mac and Game & Watch.
okay,
Version of Little Mac.
Personally, I like the wire mesh. I like to use a lot, but I like to use the pink jumpsuit.
Pink jumpsuit,
Mainly
yeah.
because I wanted to actually do a cosplay of that, but I can't find green boxing gloves to save my life.
Oh,
Ooh.
might have to just make them.
I wanted to, but I'm a stickler with that type of thing. I tried to make something in the past, and I mean, a lot of people in the cons that I went to liked it. But I do a cosplay of Ash Williams from the movie Evil Dead, and I made a chainsaw arm from a wood base and like an orange juice bottle. It sounds weird. I'm gonna have to bring it here next time, and I'll show you guys. But a lot of people loved it, but I was still kind of skeptical of the way it looked.
hang on one
This
second.
costume was Beautiful Joe.
Hang on one second. Beautiful Joe, that's impressive. Gamer Cat, thank you. Thank you very much for joining us right now. Just wanted to give a shout out. It says sweet podcast, and you, my friend, you're the sweet one. Go on. So I heard that I believe I've seen there was actually green boxing gloves promos released for the Wii version of Punch Out. So you might want to look into finding those, and then you can complete your set.
Yeah, I thought it would be cool to do because all I would need for that cosplay is a pink like sweatshirt and pink sweatpants. It would be really easy to do,
Right.
and I
And if
really
you can't
love
find the
Little Mac.
pink, find a white sweatshirt and put a red shirt in the wash and just put them together. You have a pink one.
Valid point. I was honestly just gonna have my fiance go and just like go to Victoria's Secret, find something. I don't care.
Everything says pink on it.
Even the bottom of your sweats say pink and like bedazzled font.
Yeah.
Yeah, should bring home sweatpants or sweatshirts that just say the word pink on it.
Oh yeah, totally. That's you. Devin.
It's like that picture where the guy was like, my wife wanted me to get frozen yogurt while I was out at the store, and it's a picture of yogurt that has the movie Frozen on it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but Devin, I'm a big boxing fan, and I know I've seen boxers fight in green gloves, so there has to be something out there for you.
Well, the problem is yeah, I've seen them. I found boxing gloves, but like I don't want to spend like $200 on a cosplay product. Is my problem.
Right.
Oh well, you gotta be committed, buddy. Gotta be committed.
True.
If you can find a cheap pair, what you can also do is take them apart and use them as a pattern on anything green you want to turn into the gloves, and then cut it out and sew it together.
Valid point. Valid point. I never actually thought about that. I haven't done cosplaying in so long that I want to get back into it, but now I can't really do my Ash Williams costume thanks to my beard.
Yeah, I gotta shave when I do the Beautiful Joe costume.
That's a game that I have not heard of in a long time, and when it comes to all these ports that everybody's complaining about so much, I would love to see that happen again.
Man,
especially
if
if
I
they
get
redrew all the characters with hand-drawn sprites.
Yeah, I loved that game. That's why when Wonderful 101, I think was the name on the Wii U, came out, that reminded me of Beautiful Joe so much.
It was from the same group of people, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I actually didn't know that. Already.
And I think there's even kind of a cameo of him in there. It's not. I don't think it was exact, but yeah, people were mentioning there was a cameo of him.
I just like the quirky nature of the game, how it looked like it was on a movie film, and that's also another reason why I like the No More Heroes game too. It just had a really quirky nature, and I liked it a lot. I can't wait for that Switch game.
Yeah, if we get another Capcom rep in Smash, I mean, I'd love to see Beautiful Joe or like someone from Resident Evil. That'd be pretty cool.
And it's funny you bring that up, because when they were announcing, like when people thought there was going to be another Smash or the one on Wii U was going to be ported over, my thing was going to be you do a few new characters from Nintendo franchises, and then every company that had a representative, you give them one new representative. But the way I was doing it is you can't have a character from the same franchise. So Capcom, you have Mega Man in there. You can't put Bass or Proto Man in there, or Dr. Wily. You have to do another franchise. So
I would like to see Dr. Wily though, and Dr. White. I think that would be cool.
But,
I think Beautiful Joe would be
first.
Yeah.
But then I realized you need another Platinum character
But
with Bayonetta.
When it comes to random characters, I think having Travis Touchdown show up would be cool, especially because he's getting himself a Switch.
I'm so with you, Devin. I'm so with you, man.
Yeah, my Platinum representative was actually Wonder Red from Wonderful 101.
That'd be a good one too.
And then I'm like, then you can't really put Beautiful Joe in there. I put Arthur in.
What about Dante from Devil May Cry? That's what GamerCat's saying. Would Dante be a good fit?
My thing was trying to keep away from more sword characters.
That's true. I mean, I was back when they did the Smash ballot for 4. I was like, everybody just keeps putting like all these Fire Emblem characters. Granted, Fire Emblem is a sweet game. I'm not hating on it or anything. I would just personally much rather not see more sword characters, because in my opinion, they're pretty much all the same.
Axe.
Well, true. I mean, in my opinion, they're pretty much all the same. Roy, Marth, they're pretty similar when it comes to fight style. That's why I like things like Game & Watch and Little Mac, because they're just weird.
What if Game & Watch the game with sword? What if they just gave everyone a sword? Then no one could complain about too many swords.
That's true. Well, Game & Watch at least has his flag. We can count that as a sword.
I mean, there's three Zelda characters with a sword, so.
Well, Zelda and Link characters are all they're unique. I mean, to me, the Fire Emblem characters are pretty similar in their design, but maybe it's because I haven't played a lot of Fire Emblem.
Well, now doesn't Ganon have a sword?
Oh.
His moves.
Zelda's getting out there with the stuff. Why is the Smash your favorite series, David? I mean, it's a great series, but why is it your favorite? Why is it better than Mario Kart? Why is it better than Zelda even?
Yeah. You know, man, back in 2001 when it came out, well, I played it on the 64 and 98 as well, but something about like the planetary alignment whenever for my birthday, I got a GameCube, Animal Crossing, a bunch of other titles, and Smash. Something about just it kind of all just hit me at the same time, and the music is really good. Just having all these characters cross over, and it's like it's literally like a dream come true. You're having all these characters interact with each other, and
crossovers are always fun as it is.
right, and I don't know. That's when I became not only a Smash fan, but a big Sakurai fan, because he went on to make after that was like Kirby Air Ride and a bunch of other titles, but I really can't explain something about it. Sometimes these games just hit you at the right time, and when you pause the screen or you pause the main menu or whatever, you're in the main menu and you're just letting it play because you like the music itself.
Yeah,
that's telling you that there's a special connection with that game. I think I played on Final Destination with in training mode where no one's even hitting each other, just so I can look at the background and listen to the music. Like that was. It was something special about it. I really can't put it into words.
That's
for me. I love the Mega Man series.
My connection
Mario
to
World.
Mario World is it was my first video game I ever played. I have the music on my phone. It's one of my ringtones. It just brings back good memories, in my opinion. So that's why this is by far my favorite game of all time.
Oh man, when you
That's
go
a good
into
question for
Vanilla,
other people too.
when you go into Vanilla Dome, is that the name of it?
Yeah.
And then when you even go to Star Road, like that's also kind of like a high point in that game for me.
Yeah, definitely.
So what was everyone else's first games? Because yours was Mario World.
Mine was also Super Mario World. I think I mentioned that in the last podcast.
High five.
Yeah, Ken and I are a lot.
Well, I was talking about text-based games. I think Pong probably. Cartman from South Park and Smash Gamer Cat said, "I don't think we'll get that only because I would." Once upon a time, I would have said it was too mature, but I mean they got Bayonetta in. But the fact that Cartman started off as a video cartoon in other media, I think that disqualifies him. But if Guko or whatever that Dragon Ball Z character gets in, that will open it up. But until Dragon Ball Z gets in, I would say we're probably not going to get anybody that started off in other media. My first game, what would be my first game? Shoot, I don't know. I would say some games that I remember, I'd have to say, okay, so Atari, I don't know if you know this, but Atari at one point almost killed the video game console market in America, and I think it had to do a lot with E.T., and
what happened was they oversaturated the market with a lot of horrible content. It wasn't strictly ET, but anyone could make a game. So you'd go into a store and you'd see all these games, and like here's all these ones from the top companies, and then here's a bargain bin with a bunch of crap in it, and people are like, well, I'm not gonna pay $30 for this game. I'll pay $5 for this game in this bin, and it just became this thing where people just got sick of games.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
the crash, and then Nintendo coming in and doing their whole seal of quality and trying to make sure that same thing didn't happen.
Well, and so speaking on that, I actually had an Atari, and I bought games in the store, but I think I was buying games after the crash, because I'm just at the cusp of the end of Atari and the beginning of Nintendo, because we bought a Rob the Robot. Most people bought the NES without Rob, or the NES with the trackpad. And so I actually bought it with Rob the Robot, and he sucked. I hate to break it to you. It was a horrible. I mean, great imagination and thinking outside the box, whatever. But gameplay wise, he sucked. But so to me to say what's my favorite game, and then I played text-based games like Rogue that we talked about, where the villain was a letter that represented something, and we had to use our imagination. And then also I played King's Quest, which was, a point and click, and it wasn't just a point and click, it was you click on a hole in a tree, and then I would have to actually type what I wanted to do, exactly how I wanted to do it, otherwise it wouldn't come true. So I would type, look in hole, in tree. I would have to type those words out, and then the screen would say, you can't see anything. And then I would move on, and later I would find out that I had to say, put hand in hole and feel around in order to get what I really wanted. So those are the type of first games that I played. So it's hard for me to pinpoint exactly what I played first.
My first was Burger Time on the Intellivision.
Burger Time. I like that.
But it should also be noted that the Intellivision also had its own roguelike. Going back to that discussion, which was Dungeons and Dragons: Treasure of Tarman. And it was in a first-person perspective.
Yeah, I'm reading Ready Player One right now, so that means a lot to me. The Gamer Cat says his first game was with you, Devin and David. Super Mario World, his first game.
There's a random topic that I just wanted to bring up now that you brought up Bayonetta. Back to the Diablo discussion that we had before. I'm pretty sure they just released the other day that the black guy in the game, I forget his name, but
Rodon.
He represents the devil in that game. So
is he the devil?
That's another instance of something a little more like with the religion thing coming into play here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
Diablo 3, the items that cuckoo. Ken, you'd probably get the reference, but would that be El Pollo Diablo?
Yeah, probably. I wonder if anything can beat that.
But I just wanted to bring that up because it just...
Yeah, no, that's true. Angels and Demons and Bayonetta. And not even... I mean, Bayonetta doesn't even represent it really. I'm not saying in a negative light, but they definitely don't represent heaven and hell in a positive light in the Bayonetta game. So that's just another instance of Nintendo.
It represented the devil. I thought it was just a representative for hell.
It's either that or he was the devil himself because he ran the bar nightclub thing in the game.
Yeah.
Granted, I haven't played a lot of it, so I don't really know. That's just the way I interpreted it.
Well, just the thematic concept of the fact that angels are bad guys and the I think angels and demons are bad guys in Bayonetta 2.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because demons are actually stronger enemies that you face. But the fact that angels are like dark angels and they're viewed as an enemy, that's just an interesting concept. I mean, that kind of gets you in the mind of Hideki Kamiya, whatever the hell's going through his mind, But I'm pretty sure he's just excited that Bayonetta is in Smash. I think he kind of hit a high point in his career there.
Oh, definitely.
When they announced Bayonetta, he tweeted out to all the Smash nerds, thank you. So.
Yeah, I would, if there was a way, if I could have gone back in time and put money on a character never to be in Smash Brothers, Bayonetta, someone would have said Bayonetta, I would have put money on her not coming to Smash. But I did.
Surprise.
Yeah, at the time. Did you?
Yeah. No, my vote was for Gino.
Yeah, I put in Gino as well.
Yeah.
I did Bonk. Yeah,
Bonk
probably
been cool, but I feel like nobody knows who Bonk is.
Well, that's nobody. That's one of the reasons why I wanted him on, actually, because I feel that he would have hit that nostalgia thing that people would have been like, oh yeah, kind of like. I mean, I hate to say it, but a lot of people didn't know who Rob the Robot was, or maybe even the Duck Hunt dog.
Game and Watch, people didn't know who that
Game
was.
and Watch, yeah.
People my generation had no idea who Game and Watch was. I actually had no idea those things existed.
Ice Climbers.
Played his Game and Watch.
Which makes me annoyed when you mention a character that should be in the game and somebody goes, they're not popular enough.
Yeah.
Ice Climbers?
Ice Climbers definitely shouldn't have been.
They were a breaking point where people didn't want to play Smash 4 just because they weren't in there. I mean...
Yeah, exactly. But that's because of the Melee, the core Melee fan base. And I try to get good with Ice Climbers. I couldn't. I would not... I'm okay with Bayonetta now, but that's only because she got in. Once you're in, I like the concept of everybody's in. And I never would have wanted Pichu back, but because they have that concept, everybody's in, then I'm okay with that, I guess.
Yeah.
And I guess Bayonetta, Gamer Cat. You can read Gamer's Cat review or comment. He's got me laughing now.
Okay.
He threw me for a loop. He's got me laughing. You guys talk about something. You're
Even-
funny,
even
Gamer
though
Cat.
With me not wanting as many sword characters in the game, you know, adding another duo to the game like the Ice Climbers, I thought Cat and Anna would make a good team to include in the game from the WarioWare series.
Oh yeah, that would be a
Or
good one.
Rex and Pyra. That'd be pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Who's Rex and Pyra?
From Xenoblade 2, Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Mm-hmm. Do you consider Rosalina and Luma a double character?
I do.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're-
just because it's so
they-
hard to control her at times.
Yeah.
It's like Lychee in the Blaze Blue series because you get to control her staff.
True.
Would Mario and Cappy be a dual character?
I think that would be definitely an interesting one, but yeah, I think they might because I mean he is technically sentient, so I
Yeah,
don't know.
you could argue it, but you're not like switching between. Well, then again, you're not switching between the two with the Ice Climbers.
But he could always have like Cappy as the ghost form coming out
Yeah,
of the map too. So
I
that'd
think
be
it's
another interesting thing, kind of like Kirby, because he would be taking over the other characters.
Who developed Bonk or Bonk's Adventures?
I could find that out real quick.
Was that Atlas?
No, it wasn't Atlas. It might be Hudson. I don't even know. They were
I think it's
Bonk-
a Hudson game.
But I'm gonna
Bonk.
check.
Yeah, Bonk was on. He for the longest time I thought he was the mascot of TurboGrafx 16, but he had games on the NES back in the day as well. It's one of the rarest games, and then so I think it was just it probably became a TurboGrafx exclusive, but I think it's Hudson. I'm surprised there isn't anything right now. Like that could be an easy throwback game, like Sonic Mania, and
It's Red Entertainment, formerly known as Red Company
odd.
/ Atlas.
Oh wow, you were right, David.
Yeah,
Good job.
Hudson published it.
No,
Oh, so
speaking of
we were all
Hudson,
kind of right.
If we wanted to get a Hudson, like old school Hudson, I think
Bomberman.
Bomberman.
started as Hudson, right? So
Yep.
I know he's an assist trophy man, but I really wish we could get some representation of him, especially from my favorite Bomberman game, Bomberman Hero, especially for the soundtrack. It's amazing.
Bomberman.
SoundCloud, actually, the composer, she's probably like maybe 50 something, but she posts stuff on SoundCloud. And have you guys heard of that OST?
I don't
No.
believe so.
If you Redial is probably the most recognized song from that OST, Bomberman Hero. It's kind of it's reminiscent of like 90s drum and bass. So
What's Bomberman Hero on? Is it the Wii or is it the N64? 64.
That one.
I feel Bomberman would be a great pick. I believe it's Konami now, but Bomberman would be a great pick. It hits the nostalgia, the still kind of current. Plus, Bomberman R was one of the 7 games on the Switch's launch, so it shows that there is like some kind of support that Nintendo could have thrown back. But he's an assist trophy. Little Mac bumped up, so hopefully Bomberman can bump up. At this point, because there are 70 characters, 103 levels, 900-ish songs, I'm like,
They've done it.
yeah,
I mean,
I'm okay. But
I'm a little
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about the game having that big label at the top that says it requires a download.
Yeah, we talked about that once too, but I don't know. It might not. Maybe we were talking about the fact that they might introduce the bigger carts to contain it.
For that
So-
game, considering it's a Nintendo game, that's probably what they would do. But yeah, with all the third-party games having that label, I tend to avoid the games with that label.
I
Yeah,
think
wanted
that's
to get the new Wolfenstein, but I didn't do it because of that.
And the only reason I do that is because I would rather have the game on that cartridge instead of having to download most of it.
Very true.
yeah. And the thing,
Sorry, kid.
I was just gonna say in regards to that big label, they're getting rid of a lot of. They're getting rid of that label, and they're making it not so much of an eyesore, but it's still
We did that
there.
with the Mega Man X collection.
Yeah, exactly. So what were you saying, Sakurai? What, David?
Sakurai has gone on record saying that the way he whenever he designs a game, he wants to have all the content, or he would prefer all the content to be out day one. Like he this is before the Wii U release of Smash Brothers. He didn't believe in DLC, or he was kind of on the fence about DLC. He said that a game should have all the content out day one. So I don't know, maybe he would push for that so that Smash can come out with no download required. I don't know.
It'll have patches though. The days of glitches that allow you to speed run or break a game are pretty much over when it comes to a company like Nintendo. Unless you find it, like if they found a Mario 3D World glitch right now, it's probably not going to get patched. But on Smash it would. Now, I love all the game day one. I love that. I wish it was more of it. Unfortunately, we're gonna go farther and farther away. And unfortunately, like we were talking about with Nintendo earlier in the online service, I would have loved to never have an online service. But I'm not going to complain that we got one. Just like I would love Nintendo to never do downloadable content and stuff, but it's here. And it's just because the winds of change happened and Nintendo had to roll with the punches. So
when it comes to the online service, are you guys? What's your thoughts on the NES games that they're going to put on, and also having the online play added into them?
It's a cool feature. I mean, if people want to play it, they will. I don't know personally if I'll do the online part of it, but if there's some games there that I want to check out, I'll be playing those.
I'm just interested to see how it's going to work, because they clearly have Dr. Mario in this list. I was looking at it, and I just think that's interesting that they're putting all this online play into NES games that never in a million years that they would ever think would ever actually have online play.
Right.
So,
breathing life into these games that otherwise have been kind of fossilized,
Yeah.
Yeah. And you want to know, in regards to that, I am not going to get the online service to play Mario 3. I'm just not going to do it. It's not me. But I will say this. I don't have a lot of friends, like, face-to-face anymore. I have, like, I've had, like, one really good gamer friend in the last, like, couple years, and he even moved away. So, if I was to play something like this, and I was going to do it on my Twitch channel or on YouTube, like, it would be kind of cool to say, hey, Devin, let's, you want to just, like, a couple hours play Mario 3? See how far we can get on the channel? So, like, but then again, I mean, look at me. I'm a hardcore fanboy, and I have my own podcast for Nintendo. So, I mean, someone like me might be a little more apt to doing that, to that point of view. So, my point of view is a little skewed on whether or not that's a good sell. I mean, the NES Mini selling like crazy, so is that great? These games great. Now, if they started putting games, if they just keep beefing up the library, like adding instead of subtracting and then replacing, then that will be a huge selling point.
Yeah, especially if they're going to put games on there that are not on the classic.
Yeah,
that's what my thing is I think that's the whole reason why that everybody's like, oh, where's the Virtual Console? I think this is where it's going. I think they're going to put the online service and say, we're going to trickle in these Virtual Console games, so you guys, there you go, have what you wanted.
Especially when people complained about the cost of the games on the Virtual Console.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, $10 for Earthbound. Yeah, go get a physical copy. See how much that is.
and find somebody a physical copy that's still in box and see how much that one is too.
Yeah.
And like Chrono Trigger. Oh, I don't want to pay $15 for Chrono Trigger. Good luck finding it.
Well, then they go, well, I'll just download it. It's like,
I was lucky to find this one in that Facebook Marketplace thing. And I didn't even know it was worth that much up until I opened it up and looked at it. But now it's like one of my most prized Super Nintendo games.
And it looks minty.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's got a couple scratches on the label. Otherwise, it's very good. The cart's fine. It's not discolored, and it plays perfectly. So,
we were talking about fines, and there was a friend of mine who happened to find a box at a thrift shop, and he picked up the box for me. Just this big group of games, and I'm looking at the group of games. It was mostly Super Nintendo, Lemmings, Ultraman.
Ultraman is a good game.
There was a Super Mario World in there. I'm looking at like the main ones that are of interest. Battletoads Double Dragon.
Good one.
There was a Genesis copy of Crew Ball. Let's see what else was there. Turtles in Time. Was in
Oh man, that's
there.
such a good
Kombat
game.
3. I think Gradius 3 or 4. Mario All Stars. Some 64 games. There was a Diddy Kong Racing.
That's a good one.
Pilot Wing 64. GoldenEye. Mario Tennis.
GoldenEye.
There was also a Super Nintendo multi-tap in there.
Hmm.
The
That's
Hudson
one thing I don't see a lot of.
No, but the one thing that I found of interest, complete in-box Turtles Hyperstone Heist. Yeah,
Wow.
which goes for $60-$70 now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nicely
How-
done.
And that box that he gave me, I gave him double what he paid for it.
Oh, nice. You're a nicer guy than me.
Yeah, I paid him $10.
Oh wow.
Dude,
Yeah,
a
the
friend of mine.
entire box was $5.
Wow, man.
A
I
friend of mine
never.
in high school, he went to a yard sale. He told me about this. I've mentioned this on the show before, but William, this one's for you. He went to a yard sale and found a box of just random Super Nintendo games, just kind of like what you said. But at the time, it was before Super Nintendo, like vintage gaming, became like really a thing. There was, I'm not kidding you, Chrono Trigger, Earthbound, a bunch of other rare games. I'm pretty sure Kirby Dream Land 3 was chilling in there. He got it all for $15, including a system.
A friend of my wife's had a yard sale down the street from us, and she was selling like everything. All the Super Nintendo games were $2 each.
Ugh.
So I got a Final Fantasy 3 and Secret of Mana.
Nice.
And I think I got one other game. But while I'm there, I had the game sitting there, and I'm chatting with her, and this guy comes over, and he's looking through it. He grabs his games. He sets his games on top of mine, then picks up my pile. And she had to tell him, like, those are his. And the guy's like, they're not in his hand.
Oh, I hate those kind of
I would
people.
rage.
I ended up getting the games back. And I'm
Good.
looking through stuff, and he's going through everything, picking out all the games that he could be able to sell. And he got, considering how much he was selling these for, he had almost $100 worth of games in his hand, like just piled up. And he's putting them in a bag for her to look through. And then he talked her down on the price.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I'll do. I might not give extra, but I won't talk down or steal.
No, and then she mentioned that she had the guide for Secret of Mana, and he's like, "Oh, that's one of the ones he had." She's like, "Oh yeah, we have it." And he's looking around trying to find it. Like heard her mention it, and I grabbed it and I hid it, so he couldn't get it. It's like, I'm picking up the game. I might as well get the guide for it too.
Yeah.
That's,
I-
sorry, go on, Ken.
I was gonna say I never get anything. I don't think I found a couple things in the wild here and there, but nothing like super great. I find a lot of good like steals on eBay and stuff, but never have I gone. What about you, David? You ever find anything good in a Target or anything?
Nah, not at all. Actually, my neighbor, I'm on this app called Nextdoor, and my neighbor, I just put something out there, just kind of hoping, and said, "Hey, does anybody have any video games for sale? I'm a collector," and sure enough, he's like, "David, I've got a bunch of Dreamcast, GameCube games.
Ooh.
If you want to come over and look." Man, I was there in like 5 minutes, but he was getting his wife actually was like, "You need to get rid of this stuff," and he gave me each of his games for $5 a piece, and let me just pick something out real quick.
While he's doing that, my best thing, I got this guy off of eBay for, I'm so surprised, for $10.
Ooh, wow.
I think I got mine for 40.
Here's
Ooh.
Oh.
Nicely done.
sealed for. He even has the original price tag, $20. Got that for $5, and
That's a fantastic game.
yeah, he just, this whole lot is amazing. It's like heavy hitters for the GameCube.
There's that other RPG series on the GameCube. I'm blanking on the name of it at the moment.
Tails.
The Bait and
Crystal
Katos.
Chronicle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm missing the second game in that.
What else did you get, David?
But I didn't pick it up. But
Oh, you should have got them all, man.
I know. Yeah. Well, it totaled to about like $300, but these games were amazing.
Wait a second. So you bought $300 worth of games at $5 a piece? Let's see them. Where are they? I want to see them.
They're right behind me. I mean, it's kind of littered throughout it, but
Okay, so what else? What else good ones you got?
Metroid Prime 2 Echo Sealed,
Nice.
Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion, $5 a piece, Melee, $5 a piece.
Luigi's Mansion, that's a good one.
Dreamcast games, I think I have Grandia 2.
If you say Power Stone, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I do have Power Stone.
Come on.
I don't actually. It's Power Stone 2, not Power Stone. I have Power Stone 2, which I think is a little bit rare.
Yeah, Power
Yeah.
Stone 1's the rarer one, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
I didn't get my
okay.
Dreamcast until a few years ago, so I don't have any games for it except for a homebrew.
Oh yeah.
Man,
What
yeah,
else?
kinda
Come on, I wanna hear more.
for the Dreamcast a little bit because it's I think it's the North American release is actually pretty doable from what I can see. There are games that are kind of like up there in the 200 range, but that's not bad compared to other collections. Like
Yeah, that's true.
What other games did you get from that lot?
I think I have a picture saved here actually, so I don't keep looking behind me. It's kind of hard to do that.
Rattle them off. Rattle them off. I want to know. I want to hear. Let's see if he has
Mario
it.
Kart Double Dash, but the bonus one with the extra disc on it.
Nice.
I've got all three. Ken, now that I think about it, I think we talked a long time ago, but you messaged me about if I was considering selling some of these things like 2 years ago.
Really? I can see that. Like, I throw out so many, like, hey, you selling, you're trading, and then I just, like,
It was
sometimes.
the double pack of Zelda and the promo disc Zelda for $5 a piece.
You want to trade, you let me know.
Phantasy Star Online for the GameCube. And then here, oh, I do have Power Stone 1 and 2 now that I think about it. Shenmue Collection sorry, not the collection, the special edition for the Dreamcast that has the soundtrack for $5.
Hang on a second. Hey, you gotta be a little quieter with the clanking. You keep taking the Devin. You keep taking the camera.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, go on.
Let's see, Soul Calibur, Seaman for $5. Keep in mind, all these are $5 because that's what.
Yeah, so just rattle them off. You don't gotta tell the price.
Yeah. F-Zero GX, Eternal Darkness, Lost Kingdoms 1 and 2, which is a From Software game. Let's
Yeah, it's
see.
one I don't have in my collection yet.
Star Fox Adventures, like all the Resident Evils for the GameCube. So 0, 1, 2, Code Veronica. Yeah, man, I can't name them all. They're not even all in this picture. So.
All right, let me ask that. When did you buy this off them?
So this was the first year I got into collecting.
Okay, so it's a while ago.
November. It was in November of 2016, and yeah, it was probably one of my best finds.
Awesome. That's crazy. Guys, are you on the YouTube channel right now? Are you seeing us?
I can peek over.
Peek over and tell me if we're like freezing like big time, or what are you watching right now?
I see comments from GamerCat, and that's it. I may move it over. Don't see it frozen.
Yeah, me either.
Okay, good. I don't know why. It's probably because I'm uploading the stream and everything, but mine's kind of frozen. Keep an eye on the chat. Last thing I got from GamerCat was you lucky, and something retracted.
He said collects PlayStation. Nintendo collecting can get very expensive. Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. So read off the chat to me because I think I've got like really stuck.
Yeah, that was the last thing mentioning collecting PlayStation.
Yeah, I agree with that, GamerCat, for sure. It can be super expensive. Zelda stuff, yeah. I mean, I kind of like lump because my collection of Zelda is so like fierce, I guess. I kind of say I collect Zelda and Nintendo, even though I know Zelda is Nintendo. Hey, David, did these games come in it? Because these are I think these are the grails of GameCube. It's the Zelda Metroid combo, the split, the Mickey's Basketball. I don't know if it's a different name for it, but it's Mickey's Basketball something.
Sports
Played that
collection, yeah.
Phantasy Star Online 1 and 2 Plus.
Yeah.
I think
1 and 2 plus. Then there's
I don't have those, but I have I mean, just showing you that's.
Yeah,
Are
I got
those-
those and love those. Those are great.
Yeah, I
Those
want.
promo ones.
I think
Yeah.
I have all three of those as well.
There's also what else? There's Cubivore.
Yep.
I have it, and I don't know if I still have it because my sister had it in her collection, and there was a house fire. I don't know if it was at that house or
Oh,
whether she has it at her place right now.
that sucks. What else? There's Gotcha Force is also.
one of my favorite animes.
Ooh, that's cool. And then the Pokemon box. The Pokemon box.
Which one?
Or not Pokemon box. The Pokemon.
The Game
It's
Boy
a,
player.
it's a Pokemon.
The demo disc for the one that
No.
has Jirachi on it.
No, not that actually. It's Pokemon, and it's like in a big box. It has the game. It has the link, cable link, and it's considered one of the rarest. And then there's actually a Sonic 2-pack that is starting to become more. People are becoming more and more aware of it, and are saying that it might be one of the rarest games. And it was like
I got one piece I gotta take off the shelf real quick.
Okay. Oh, and that Sonic pack, it's a player's choice 2-pack that was exclusive to GameStop, and it has an outer box. So those are your rare holy grails of the
So I've
GameCube.
got this.
Yeah,
I get that in my collection.
Very cool.
is that for
That's
the GameCube?
box one.
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
American version, I guess, would be the the equivalent to what's it called? Is it?
It's called Pokemon Box.
Oh, okay. So that's your super rare ones. Did any of those get out there to you?
No, just the Zelda ones that were mentioned, like the promo disc and the double pack, Majora's Mask and Master Quest, and Wind Waker, and these were in amazing condition. He's an
Yeah.
adult collector, so he wasn't even a collector. He owned them from back in when they came out retail. And
Yeah.
he was probably already in his late 20s when they came out. So and it's smoke-free home, so they were all in good condition.
Oh, I hate smoke-free stuff. I'm not saying anything in regards to smoking. I mean, I used to smoke and whatever, and I only quit because of money, not because of health reasons. But I recently, I never really understood why people said smoke-free, and then I traded with somebody who you could tell smoked, and man, their stuff stank.
I got an NES from someone who smoked, and you could just smell it all through the entire thing. It's not.
Yeah, I got an original Xbox from somebody with like 20 games, and yeah, I had to basically fumigate it.
Yeah, and that's not a commentary on people who smoke. That's just like, I guess, a commentary on people who smoke near their video games. Don't do it.
It's something that happens.
Yeah.
But
again,
I get so stickler about my stuff. Like I have one of my favorite Super Nintendo games, the Doom, because I love the fact that the cartridge is red.
Oh, that's so cool.
I get a really stickler about that type of thing when the people are destroying it and they say that it's in mint condition. It's not.
Yeah. Hey, Nick, what's up, man? How are you? Nick is actually someone who I eventually want to get either on the podcast or do an interview a la the style I did with you, David, because he has an amazing collection. But keep going. Anyone?
Oh, okay. Well, that's why I mean, I've gotten really into this. Like, my biggest video game collection right now that I'm trying to get back is my Super Nintendo. Like, my favorite being the Doom. I wanted to get a Ultimate Carnage or I forget the title.
Maximum Carnage. Maximum.
Maximum
That's
Carnage.
also red, right?
Yeah, it's also red. And then here's one for you, Ken, to get the Link to the Past. Dreamland 3, my absolute favorite, Mega Man X. And
those games are getting pricey, right? The Mega Man.
Yeah, they are.
For some reason, Mega Man X is not. Mega Man X2 is ridiculous. I
And
don't
three.
understand why.
Three is really tough to find now.
Yeah.
And the
then-
soccer one, I think, is too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
that's
Mega
one I
Man
actually
Soccer's
want.
fun. Mega Man Soccer is really fun, as weird as that game may be.
Also, 1 second, I agree with Nick. Just don't smoke in your house. That is the workaround. having having the best of both worlds, smoking and not. Again, though, I'm not promoting it one way or another. Go on.
I live in a apartment building that's smoke free. The only place people can smoke in is outside, and they have to be farther away from the building.
True.
Now, Willem, you going back to your PS3 collection, are you aware of the game called El Chavo Kart?
Yes, actually. I keep meaning to pick that up.
So El Chavo del Ocho is a show that I grew up on. It's a Mexican-based TV show from, even my parents grew up on it, from the 70s.
There's also a live-action version of it too, isn't there?
That's the show I'm referring to, is actually live action, and it's considered a North American title, but it was developed out of Mexico. And it's so it's one of those weird things that it's like it's North American, but it's exclusive to Mexico, I believe, or something like that. But it's pretty much a kart racer, a la Mario Kart or Crash Racing.
Yeah, I saw it and I kept meaning to pick it up. I like almost half my team at Target is speak Spanish, and they'll occasionally have the show on the TV in the break room. So I was familiar with what the show was, and then I saw they had the game. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, what was the title? What was the name of that? El Chavo?
El Chavo, yeah.
All right, speaking of, I know what you're talking about in regards to the exclusive to Mexico. There's an El Chavo, it's the cartoon though, or however you pronounce it. It's an exclusive on the Wii, actually, to North America. So if you're trying to get a Wii collection, you have to get that. And just so people know, there's also another Mexican Wii exclusive. It's a bundle with a microphone, and it's from a almost like a Miley Cyrus type Mexican show, which has that singing feature to it. So there's two.
Do you know the name of it, Ken?
No, when I started getting into the actual collecting part of video games, I actually started on the Wii, and so I was going for I was really trying to get a really good Wii collection, just a really solid Wii collection. And when I found the El Chavo game, I was like, oh wow, what's this? Exclusive to Mexico. This is going to be super rare. I'll buy it. And then I was like, I wonder if there's any more, and that's how I found out about that game. So if you do have connections, David, in Mexico, you should really try to scoop all those up and then resell them to all the Wii collectors in America.
My cousin, like how I mentioned in the interview, he's the one that found think of our swap meets, but even more primitive than that. He found for $5, he found Sculptor's Cut. Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut.
Ooh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy what he finds over there. But I'll definitely talk to him and ask him about the El Chavo games, because
I'd love a copy of the PS3 one.
Yeah, and I know I'll keep an eye out for that too.
Okay.
And because I found out about that, and that's so cool, because this is a show that my family grew up on, and the fact that it's highly sought after and collectors are talking about it, it's kind of funny.
The 360 one can go over triple digits.
Really?
I was just noticing that.
I think the Wii El Chavo one is only it was a couple years since I looked at it, but it's only $40 to $50. I think I bought it for $40.
I see one for $30 on eBay for the PS3.
Okay. Oh, PS3.
Yeah.
The only thing in my collection that hits triple digits is the Master Edition for the Switch. Oh my god.
I have Gargoyle's Quest 2 on the NES, and I still have.
Oh, Gargoyle's Quest.
Yeah, so with a box, it brings it into the triple digits. Well, I think one of the pieces I have that I have kind of prized, it's a US copy on the PS3 of a game called Africa.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
Yeah. If anyone's not familiar with it, think of Pokemon Snap. But
that's crazy.
You're free roaming and you're in Africa.
I remember when that game was first announced, and everybody kind of this is lame, dumb, whatever. And now it's it's probably, is it the rarest of the?
It's getting rare, but my copy, I went to Video Games Live, and the guy who was conducting the orchestra for Video Games Live was Wataru Hokoyama, who is the person who composed and orchestrated the music for Africa.
Oh, cool.
So at the end, when everyone's doing the signings, and we had the stuff to have signed, and we're going down the line, and he signs, and I'm like, oh, I got one more piece to have you sign if I can. And I pull the game out of my bag, and he goes, oh my God, somebody with a US copy. He's like, thank you so much. He goes, this is the first copy of this I've signed from the US.
Nice. Did you have...
Sorry, Ken.
I was going to say, did you have him sign the artwork or the plastic?
We took the art piece out, and he signed the artwork part.
All right.
William, do you have 3D Dot Heroes for the PS3?
3D Dot Game Heroes? Yes, I do.
Okay.
Please don't tell me that's rare.
It is, I think.
Is it?
I don't think it is. I don't think it is yet, but I bet it will be. The thing...
It's Atlas developed, and those games, anything Atlas really is like, it spikes up.
I had that game too. Oh man. Okay, I gotta look for that.
There's around $30, I think.
Okay.
Maybe I don't know if there was a sequel to it, or I just
they never did a sequel.
I just remember seeing 3D Dot Heroes, and some collectors were talking about how it's like hard to find. So
I think it's just because it's such a Zelda ripoff in the best ways possible that it's going to be scooped up eventually, and it's not, from what I know, it's not like super rare or anything, but it's like I said, it's like a ripoff in all the best ways possible.
It's a really good game though. I used to love that.
I'm looking, yeah, because it is Atlas, but it was developed by Silicon Studio.
Okay.
I'm looking up eBay stuff right now.
With Silicon Graphics, that studio?
They're the ones that did Bravely Default.
Oh, okay.
Who's playing Octopath? You guys playing Octopath right now?
I've played like the first part of it, and that's it. I haven't had time to play it.
Who did you
just the
start
demo?
off with,
The
William?
Hunter.
Me too. The Huntress? Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Why?
Why'd
you guys start off with her?
Animals.
Yeah, me too.
I
What do you mean,
actually
you-
started with the Thief Therion.
All right. Well, let's with the Hunter first. I actually chose the old warrior, soldier, whatever. But what do you mean she was using the animals, or like how was she?
You get to get animals in battle and use them. It's almost kind of like a Pokemon type thing.
Like a summon.
But yeah,
Oh.
she basically gets the animals as her special moves.
Oh, that's kind of cool. All right. Is that why you both chose to use her?
I chose her because just the fact that she had like an animal companion, almost like a feral dog or a feral cat was
Yeah, I think it's a leopard that she has.
yeah.
But
Okay.
my wife really likes cats, and she likes leopards and stuff like that. So I figured, yeah, I'll go with this character.
All right. Let's. We got about 7 minutes left of the show. It looks like. Wow, this time flew by.
It
So
did fly by.
we're almost done. Let's go with Devin real quick. Why did you choose the Thief?
Well, I didn't really know much about him. I just like Thief characters in other games, and I just thought his character design was cool. But then when I started playing and found out that there was a gameplay implement that you actually had to steal things from people, I thought that was really neat. So, I mean, I like the game. I haven't gotten really into it yet, but I played like an hour and a half of it, and I'm enjoying it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess they just released some more collector editions at Best Buy today. So if anybody's watching and they were really looking for that Octopath collector, you might get a chance there. Real quick, so limited run games. If you don't know what limited run games is, it's basically a smaller company, and they released even smaller companies' titles. They basically usually indie games, not always an indie game. We got William there with a. Hold that up again, please, William.
Yeah, it's the back of one of the cards. They do cards with every game that they do.
All right, so basically they'll take a game like Oxenfree or something like that. I think that's the name, Oxenfree, title that's been out a while. Right now, you can buy it usually for like $5 on the eShop, but they'll go to the small time publisher. Hey, you want us to do a print run for you? Anyways, they've been doing it on the PlayStation 3 and the Vita for a while now. They're at like 150 games, but they're at like number 11. They just did West of Loathing on the Nintendo Switch. yesterday, actually. And so I was wondering, what's your take on limited run games? Do you think they just do they have any kind of quality control anymore? Are they just trying to get as many out as possible? Or are these actual games that are worth getting, or is it just like anything, hit or miss? What do you guys think about it as a whole?
I think they're kind of going for stuff that people want. They're usually looking at what people are mentioning and they see if they can try to get it released, and then they're going with small amounts of games, so the quality control is there. It's not like they're trying to release like 1 million copies of something.
True.
So they're able to get that 5,000 copies and know that the quality is going to be there.
Yeah, I think they're pretty cool. Like my personal first excursion with them was the Night Trap. I missed it on the first run, and thankfully I had Ken help me out here to tell me that they were going to release it again or later in the day. I ended up getting the normal copy and the collectors.
I got that too.
Cool. I think it's very cool because it's games that I think it's trying to like play to the collector, because if you hear that there's a game coming out that there's only going to be like 3,000 copies, it's going to make it a little more sought after. Yeah, you can get it on the eShop, but it's cool because it's like, okay, I have the cartridge though. You had to download it. It's more of like a bragging right in a way.
Do you feel that as a collector, like if you are going for a full Switch collection, do you feel that you have to have the limited run games, or is that just kind of like a sub collection?
Maybe.
Because if you want all the carts, I mean, that does count. They are legitimate carts.
David, what do you have to say?
I probably have for the entire group here. I probably have the smallest thing to say about limited run. I haven't really purchased anything from them, but I follow a lot of collectors that do. Mm-hmm. It's really cool that they kind of almost immortalize these games, because I think the whole thing with like this Scott Pilgrim thing where you can't play that game anymore, right? Something along those lines.
Okay.
I love that game.
I wish they'd release that one.
Yeah, I think that's a really cool thing for collectors. It's just, in my opinion, it's just another positive thing in the collector world, and I'm all for it.
Okay.
And especially with what Ken was saying when it comes to Night Trap, they had something back when Night Trap first came out out on the market, saying that they would never have Night Trap on a Nintendo console, and look where we are now.
Yeah, times changed.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some kind of. I already did a video on it, but I'm thinking of doing just a funny 1-minute video or something about it. Hey, I don't have it up right now. What are the last comments? Just to make sure that we're not missing out on anyone. My computer's running really slow. My laptop, not the stream.
Well, GamerCat said, I love the 3D Dot Heroes, and there's another guy, Nick Clayton, which welcome. I don't think I've seen you in here. Said that, this is the exact second playing Hello. Sorry, I'm not understanding that.
Hello Neighbor.
Oh yeah, I want to play that.
Oh, okay, I wasn't understanding. Yeah, I wanted to play that too, but the game looked so clunky on the Switch, unfortunately.
I've been hearing not great things about it, but I'll tell you what, I still kind of want to play it. I don't know if it's just the weirdness aspect of it or novelty aspect of it, but I still kind of want to play it.
Personally, I really want to play it just because I love horror-based video games.
Yeah, GamerCat asked what happened with the Scott Pilgrim game. The copyright on it basically was gone. So they had to remove it off of the shop because they didn't have the license for it anymore.
Really? I think I still have it on my PS3. I need to go downstairs.
Oh yeah, you can still download it. You can still download it as long as you had bought it previously, but you can't buy it anymore on the PlayStation Store because they had to remove it. Same with a lot of Marvel titles.
That's really disappointing because that Scott Pilgrim game was fantastic.
It is fantastic.
Yeah.
I really wish they would revamp that, but probably.
It reminded me of that arcade Simpsons game that I used to play at the library.
Oh, I love that game. I
was actually just playing that yesterday at the arcade.
It's so cool. I always pick Marge with her vacuum cleaner.
My favorite was always Bart in his skateboard.
I just randomly picked a character. Went up to whatever one, just put the quarter in, and picked a character.
Does Lisa have her saxophone?
Yes.
Oh, that's so cool.
I think I was Marge. I remember one time I beat that game, and not just myself, it's a 4-player game. I beat that game and Captain America and the Avengers in the same day at a Skateland field trip. And instead of skating, I played those 2 games, and when I beat both games in a row, I had like a crowd of people around me. It was epic. It was awesome.
So cool, man.
Roller skating rink was the first place I played a Tekken game.
Oh,
Nick
nice.
Clayton was saying Lisa has a jump rope, apparently. I don't remember that, to be honest.
Yeah, she has a jump rope. Yeah.
I only ever usually played as Bart or Homer, so I don't know, maybe I never paid attention.
So, but hey, guys, we're going to have to call it. It's 12 o'clock. I want to really try to always be on time with the start and at the end with the end at time as well. So, I just want to thank everybody for showing up. I apologize if you've asked me a question or anything. I haven't been able to really respond to it. We do videos. This is William Old's first time. David and Devin, thank you for joining today. Hopefully, all of us can just rejoin each other next week. We come on. We come on at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we end at this time, Eastern Standard Time, which is 1 p.m. I do videos throughout the week. These guys are going to be doing some videos, I think, shortly. William, do you have a YouTube channel or anything you want to promote at the moment?
Don't have anything at the moment, but I've been trying to get a YouTube channel up and running.
All right, and so we can look out. We'll hear more about that stuff later on. But thank you, everybody, for joining us. It is dangerous to go alone. I ask that you share at least this podcast with a friend, because it's always fun. Last week we had a lot of comments, a lot of viewers. It was really fun, and it would be nice to have that every week. So just check us out. Keep checking us out. Anyone have anything to say while I close it down?
Well, last thing I wanted to add in, Ken is having a giveaway. I wanted to add in something to that. If we can get Ken up to at least 600 subscribers on his channel, by, I don't know, next week or something like that, I will either give away this the Power Rangers game or the Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo.
Very cool.
Cool.
All right, I really appreciate that. So there you go, 600 by, how about we just say next podcast, 600, if we can make that happen. And I don't think we're that far from that goal, so he made it very reasonable, way more reasonable than I make it, people. So you can thank him.
8 people.
8 people. Let's get 8 people. Just make 8 fake accounts. No, don't do that, actually, because it won't help me, because I'm trying to get become a partner with YouTube, and if they see fake accounts, it'll just ruin my chances. So please don't do that. But everyone, it is dangerous to go alone. Thank you, Devin, for that generous offer. The podcast is pretty much closed down. It'll take me a second to close it off, but it's dangerous to go alone. Please share this channel with a friend, and thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Have a great day.
Have a good one, guys.